Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're comparing two titans of the stage, Derek Lunsford and Nick Walker. This is the clash we've all been waiting for, and barring any unexpected circumstances, we'll finally see these two faces off at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. As passionate bodybuilding fans, we love to speculate and analyze every aspect of these athletes' physiques. That's exactly what we're going to do today. We'll be comparing Derek Lunsford's appearance at the 2023 Mr. Olympia with Nick Walker's winning performance at the recent New York Pro. Remember, Nick couldn't compete at the 2023 Olympia due to a hamstring injury, but he's back in full force now. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We'll do additional comparisons featuring Hadi Chupa and Bia Samson daughter, so make sure to hit that like button. Now let's break down this epic confrontation pose by pose, giving you my honest, unbiased opinion on each. We'll start with the front relaxed pose, which used to be the first thing judges saw when competitors stepped on stage. In this pose, Derek Lunsford has a clear advantage. His overall silhouette is simply breathtaking. The width of his lats creates an impressive V-taper, and his midsection is tight and controlled. Derek's front relaxed pose is reminiscent of some of the greatest bodybuilders in history, perhaps only rivaled by the likes of Brian Buchanan. However, we can't overlook Nick Walker's strengths. Nick possesses some of the most impressive arms in bodybuilding history. In this pose, his biceps and triceps steal the show, overshadowing Derek's arms significantly. It's a classic case of overall structure versus standout body parts. Moving to the front double biceps, we see a shift in dynamics. Nick Walker really comes alive in this pose. His quad separation is more pronounced than Derek's, showing intricate details and striations that catch the eye immediately. Nick's legs seem to have more impact in this shot. That being said, Derek's torso is still commanding attention. His lat spread and tight waist create that coveted X-frame that judges love. It's a very close call in this pose, and personal preference might sway opinions. Some might favor Nick's freaky arm development and leg separation, while others might prefer Derek's classic V-taper and overall flow. A quick note here, I know some critics claim Derek has oil in his lats. Let's put those accusations aside and focus on what we can see. The front lat spread is a pose that both athletes have significantly improved recently. Derek Lunsford in particular has made tremendous progress. At the 2023 Olympia, his front lat spread was one of his best ever. We're seeing much better A-B separation in chest thickness than in previous years. Nick Walker, on the other hand, sometimes struggles with keeping his midsection tight in this pose. At the New York Pro, he managed to control it better than usual, but it's still not at Derek's level. In this pose, I have to give the edge to Derek. His overall package, the width, the midsection control, and the chest thickness is just too good to overlook. In the side chest pose, we see some interesting differences in presentation. Derek tends to crouch down more, making himself appear thicker and more compact. Nick, being naturally taller, doesn't need to do this as much. Derek's improvements in arm development are evident here, but Nick still has an advantage in arm size and separation. However, Derek's chest looks fuller and more detailed from this angle. The conditioning in Derek's lower body is also phenomenal, with clear separation in his quads visible even from the side. It's a close call, but I might give a slight edge to Derek here due to his overall package and the improvements he's made. The side tricep pose is another close battle. Unfortunately, the picture we have of Nick isn't the best quality, which might be affecting our perception. I've seen him hit this pose much better in other competitions. Derek, as always, executes this pose with precision. His stance is reminiscent of Jay Cutler, showcasing his thickness and conditioning. Derek's midsection looks incredibly tight here. However, we can't ignore Nick's strengths. His tricep development is phenomenal, and from what we can see, his midsection actually looks tighter than Derek's in this pose. It's a tough call, but I might lean slightly towards Nick in this particular shot. Turning to the back poses, we start with the rear lat spread. This is where Derek Lunsford really shines. His back width is incredible, creating a perfect V-taper from his wide lats down to his narrow waist. The symmetry in Derek's back is nearly flawless. Nick Walker, while impressive, doesn't quite match up in terms of width or symmetry in this pose. His back is thick and muscular, but it doesn't create the same striking silhouette as Derek's. In terms of conditioning, it's a close call. Both athletes show excellent detail in their upper backs. We'll need to look at the lower body to really differentiate them. The rear double biceps pose allows us to assess the complete back development and lower body conditioning. Starting from the top, Derek's back width and detail are still impressive. However, Nick Walker starts to shine when we look lower. Nick's glute and hamstring development is phenomenal. The separation in his hamstrings is particularly noteworthy, especially considering his recent injury, while Derek shows excellent conditioning with that fish scale. Look in his quads and hamstrings, Nick's overall lower body presentation is hard to beat. This pose might be a win for Nick primarily due to his superior lower body conditioning and development. The Absentthigh pose is typically a strong one for Derek Lunsford. His ability to perform a vacuum while maintaining visible ab separation is impressive. His waistline in this pose is reminiscent of the golden era of bodybuilding. Nick Walker, however, brings his own strengths to this pose. While he can't match Derek's tiny waist, Nick's ab development is more pronounced, showing clear ridges and separation. Nick's quads are also arguably more impressive in this pose with better separation and size. If the judges prioritize the classic vacuum look, Derek might take this one. But if they're looking for overall muscle development and conditioning, Nick could edge ahead. We finish with the crowd-pleasing most muscular pose. This is where Nick Walker really comes into his own. His incredible arm development, massive delts, and overall grainy conditioning make him stand out in this pose. The separation in his quads and the visibility of his abs even in this crunch position are remarkable. Derek, while still impressive, doesn't quite match up to Nick in this particular pose. Derek's clavicles are wider, giving him a broader overall look, but Nick's sheer muscle density and separation are hard to beat here. After going through all these poses, it's clear that this is an incredibly close matchup. Derek Lunsford's strengths lie in his overall structure, his back development, and his ability to present a classic, aesthetic physique with modern mass. Nick Walker, on the other hand, brings freaky muscle development, particularly in his arms and legs, combined with grainy conditioning that's hard to match. If I had to make a prediction, I'd say Derek Lunsford might have a slight edge overall, primarily due to his consistency across most poses and his superior back development. However, Nick Walker is not far behind, and on any given day, he could certainly come out on top. The 2024 Mr. Olympia is shaping up to be an epic showdown. Both of these athletes have beaten each other before, and both have made significant improvements. It's going to come down to who brings their absolute best on game day. What do you think? Who do you believe will come out on top in this epic clash? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you want to see more comparisons like this. Thank you for watching.